I was in Florida spending some time with Sam's French Drains from Orlando, Florida. The reason why I spent time with Sam, well, he's helping us develop new parts specifically for Florida. He uses all the French Drain Man parts, the Ys, the catch basins, everything. Now, he didn't start out using our products. He used to use everybody else's products. He tried all the products on the market. Then when he seen our videos, he gave our pop-up a try. When our pop-up was a good fit for him, he gave our pipe a try. And before you know it, he loved all the components that we were building for their strength, their durability, and their ease of install. He now builds his systems entirely out of French Drain Man product. I went to Florida to see how Sam does it. Now take note, he builds his Florida French drains 20 inches wide, and I support this in Florida. He does some other things too. Him and I were walking a project of his, and we were talking, and I was going to edit it, and I ended up keeping almost all of it. Instead of 90% of it ending up on the editing room floor like it usually does, I just figured you guys could hear two drain guys talking, and I thought there was a lot of value to our conversation. Now, Sam mentions how his downspouts are going to run gravity out to the curb and just the French drains going to his outdoor sump pump system. Anytime you can do that, you want to do that. You don't want to just dump your downspouts in your outdoor sump pump system out of convenience. That's going to cause a problem. If you can gravity drain it, you want to do that. If you can't, well, then you just up the size of the pump, and then you have to put a bigger sump pump system in altogether, the housing. But Sam did a really nice job. It was a great experience for me to be down in Florida, and I want to thank him for allowing me to tag along with him, because I most certainly slowed him down. And I appreciate the couple of days that him and I worked together to help develop better parts for Florida. And of course, in the years to come, as we release those parts, I'll let you know which parts those were. All right, everybody, enjoy the video. All right, everybody, I'm in Orlando, Florida with Sam's French Drains. I'm going to show you a little bit of what this guy does. He's the best in Orlando. Yeah, this is what most guys don't have, and that's organization. Like, you're very organized, you know?
And I got to have it because we have everything we need. You never know when you run into sprinkler problems, so we have to have everything here. And this closes right there, and then I put all my other ones in there.
Everything is neat. I mean, just the way you put away your extension cord and, you know, the power washing, you know, hose and things. I mean, like, it's just not all thrown in here. I mean, you actually wrapped your, look at that, like zip tied it like it's brand new still. I mean, just
even our piping from here, for the flex pipes. I told you, in here, this box, I can actually do a whole system with everything I have in here. The way I have everything set up. Everything we have in here can do a whole setup.
Yeah, you got all the tools. You know, this is what guys lack. They just throw stuff in the back of their pickup.
I go crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, I see it. I see it. You're OCD. You know.
Crazy. He's the guy who invented all the parts that we're gonna put in your house.
Yeah. I came here from Michigan. We got an expo in Fort Lauderdale tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. You know, so, but I booked a couple of days, you know, on the front end so that I could, you know, come watch Sam, check out his stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You take a lot of footages?
That's what I'm here for. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna, it looks great already. He's been sending me pictures and you know, videos of it. And
that's so cool.
Yeah.
When you guys have the video done, can you send me the pictures?
Yeah, Sam will do that, I'm sure.
Sounds good.
All right,
so
man.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you. Yeah, you got the best guy in all of Florida, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we waited a long time for him.
He's worth the wait. He's worth the wait because what people are finding out, we went and seen one of his jobs yesterday, and the customer said he had a French drain put in, and he didn't know, you know, exactly all the details to a French drain. He trusted the guy.
Right.
Well, the French drain didn't discharge anywhere, so it just filled it with water, and it made it even worse, the problem.
No.
Yeah, so, you know, that's the problem. A lot of these guys, you know, they say they know what they're doing, but the truth of the matter is their systems, if they work at all, usually only work for about 2 years. So we refer Sam and keep him pretty busy. We're kind of to blame for some of that wait, but but you know, you don't want to put your name next to a guy that's going to, you know, not build the system right. So
Exactly.
So here's where we're gonna put the sump pump.
I love it. I love it, man. That is a really big sump
Well,
pit.
we like to make it this wide for the simple fact is that, you know, when it's raining and this is working, we're not overwhelming the system either, you know, and like, let's say the pump stops working, we have such a big chamber that it'll take everything in.
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's insane. Look at all the different layers of dirt. I mean, that's interesting too. Like this, I think the site must have been filled in, don't you? Because they have sand.
Oh, that's what they do here. Yeah, they fill them in. But I'm telling you, if you saw in the videos I sent you, look at how dry this is now. Ever since we opened up the trench.
And it looks like you don't have clay here. It looks like it's a better soil.
Well, it's clay mixed with it too.
Okay.
On this one, it's clay.
It's whatever they had for fill.
Yeah, look, right here we had clay areas. It's crazy. So this is the pipe that I told you I had to cut this because there was a, look at these two right here and they're going right into the French drain. So these were going to be stress points. So what we're going to do is once we put the French drain in place, we're going to run the line in here. Nice and straight. That way it's not in the French drain because this is a stress point right here and this is where it's going to leak in the future and it's going to leak inside the French drain.
And then it's impossible to find that.
And I don't want to deal with that in the future, so we might as well do it
Smart.
here after we're done. We're going to do the same thing with this one. It's going to be here on the side and out of the way.
That's smart, man. That's smart. I've been there where you had a leak on a pipe and it's in the stone of the French drain and man, you got to dig it all up and it's just a nightmare.
This is amazing. From the days that we started on Saturday and now it's fully dry. Like even on the neighbor's side, all this was just spewing water out. There's no water coming out.
Well, you guys been pumping for a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, every day we come in here, we've been pumping water out. The French drain's gonna go all the way behind here. This is where we're gonna put a lot of copper mesh and copper sulfate.
Did this downspout just end at a pop-up right there?
No, it went to the front, so we took everything out.
Okay, and it was just a
And so
system.
we don't have to tear that. What I'm gonna do is make sure that it's running, that water runs good, that it's not like going like this.
That's what we
If
do.
it's not going like that, then I'll use it and I'll just add it to the pipe.
Yep. No, that's smart.
And back here, because all this floods back here and the water goes in there. Look how all the damage.
Wow.
And you'll see the trenches already over there.
Yeah, they can't even enjoy that.
So we're going to put
Right
a channel
now.
drain in there too. And we're going to pressure wash all this, put it brand new again. And then in there, we got a trench drain all the way back there. Look at that. The whole trench is ready to go back there.
Well, you guys been working at it. It looks great.
And there's going to be an open French drain back here.
And you know your trench is on the money because you've been dealing with water for
Yeah.
2 days. And look at this.
And I'm telling you, all this was wet. Look, this is not that bad as it used to be.
Wow, you guys got a perfect bottom on this trench. That's beautiful, man.
Well, that's what we have to work for all the time. Like this is key right here. This is, if you don't get this prep and everything perfect, your system's not going to do what it has to do. It's not going to flow. Right now we're shallow over here at 8 inches. We're down to 16 inches towards the middle, and then we're going down to about 18 inches towards where my guy is, and then we're going down 5 feet for the sump basin.
No, it's impressive. It's impressive. The width. See, a lot of guys
This
cheat.
is a 20-inch trench, yes.
You know,
I've made them bigger this year because
it's Florida.
so yeah, the longer
Tropical.
you're doing this, it's like everybody calls me for little drainage systems, and I've been getting into bigger ones because they're the ones that are working. You don't want to put one pipe down. You don't need a 6-inch pipe. You know, the more pipes you put down, the more void.
So you're saying the calls you're getting for little systems, they're complaints of somebody's putting in these one pipe systems, and they're failing.
Yeah.
They're not keeping up.
Nope.
So when you see it, I mean, that's what I tell people. 1/3 of the jobs we do are to replace a failed drain, and it's probably even greater for you. I wouldn't doubt if almost you're close to 100%. Every system you're putting in, you're tearing out a system that couldn't keep up or didn't work.
Sure.
Yeah, here in Florida, you have to have it. In the north, it's kind of optional to a certain point. If you want your yard really nice for kids and dogs, you got to do it. But here in Florida, you have to do it.
And this yard, I mean, this yard is always just wet, and then you only get the sun for the next, probably, we get the sun, I already have it clocked in, probably by 1 o'clock, 1:30, we have no more sun here.
And that's here, this is January.
Yep.
This is, Florida in
Here,
January.
we're gonna put palmetto here because it's for sun and shade.
Man, that
I'm
grass
gonna put
looks
the floor
great.
fan.
I was impressed. I was impressed with the house that we went and looked at.
Well, that's the grass that I've been using a lot. That's been my go-to. Like I said, it's for sun and shade, and it's been doing beautiful everywhere I put it. It's nice and tight. I mean, that client wants me to do it all around the yard now next time.
Well, when you run into a drought and you get all caught up on drain jobs, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but
I tried, so I always want to let people know, you know what I mean? I'm trying.
you're for hire.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay
And look
on
at
top
how
of it.
dry, like 2 days of pumping all the water out of the subsurface soil. Sam has been sending me tons of video last couple days showing me how much water was in this trench, how much water was trapped in between these two homes, and they have this perfect trench bottom. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This perfect trench bottom. All the water is just coming out of the subsurface soil, and it's running to the sump pump pit. They've been pumping water out to the storm drain in the street. But, man, that is unbelievable. This is a 20-inch wide trench. You said you started out at, what, about 8 inches, you said?
8 inches back here, and we're down to 16 inches around here.
We're
and then
16
we're
right
down
here.
to 18 inches over there. Around here, we're 16.
Yeah, nice,
And down here,
man.
we're
Nice.
18. We always measure everything. Everything has to be exact. I mean, I want the water to move.
And it's
And when we have a
An
pump,
unbelievable.
actually, you could go deep as you want because you just want that water to move. So when we have a pump system, we don't really worry about slope too much because we just get everything sloped. As long as the bubble's facing over there, we have all that water running this way at all times.
Now, this is impressive. I mean, this is without a doubt one of the best trench bottoms and best, trench excavations I've ever seen for French drain.
And this
right
is all
here.
by hand, no machinery.
Old school.
Yeah, this is all by hand. Everything that we do here is all by hand.
And you guys trust the bubble. You always put a bubble
Yeah.
to it, and that's
So
it.
sometimes there's areas where we'll try to keep the bubble touching the back when we're starting, and then once we get towards the middle, the bubble's like in the middle of the back and the front of the level. Then once we get to the front, you're going already 4 inches under the sidewalk. So that if you figure all the math out for this, you have enough slope for certain things. Like right now, all these downspouts are not going to go. They're going to go in the French drain, but they're going to separate pop-ups out to the street. They're not going into the pump system. We don't want to overwhelm it.
What's nice about sump pump systems, you can, not have to worry about your depth.
No.
You're working on your trench bottom,
As long as
and
you start shallow on one side and you're deeper on the other, that's basically.
yeah, and the sump pump. I mean, I seen what you guys are putting in. I mean, you're going deep. You're not messing around. You want to get all the subsurface
So
soil.
what we try to do here, a lot of guys would bring the pipes right into here. That is incorrect. I want to go higher so we're collecting more water, and the pump is actually moving. So if a pump moves 60 gallons per minute, and you're putting it on a little 30 gallon, you're moving that pump too much. Here, if we're moving 150 gallons per minute,
That's what
we're
you
gonna
want.
make sure that we are holding 150 gallons to be able to move it at one time.
Yeah, no, this is a big system right here. This is a big system. And
Bigger, so
Florida, man, it's tropical storms. It's yard drainage on steroids. That's what it
got
is.
This job off a consultation that I help somebody right across the street do the job themselves.
Oh, that's cool. That's
We
great.
didn't even do
Word of
that.
mouth.
Yeah, we literally showed them everything that we do because we do consultations too to help people do it. If you want to do it yourself, I'm here to help you and make sure that it gets done right.
But yeah, this I don't know if anybody makes anything that heavy. I mean, that's
No.
the heaviest that I can find and that I know of.
No, well, that's why we go to you. Like, there's no point. I've tried.
I try to source. Yeah, I try to source. Like I try to do that for everybody. Now that guys are taking semis, it's good because I'm like, okay, what do you need? I'll just slide it in the truck.
Yeah.
Like a 20-footer can go inside a semi.
And you're always fitting, everything in there. You guys are crazy with it. Like, you can pack. I mean, I'd be surprised with the stuff you pack.
Yeah, we get everybody's money's worth. I'll tell you that. We do. All right, I just want to show you how you get this bottom so perfect. Right now, there's just a small puddle. This is something that nobody would even really be all that concerned about. But Sam and his crew, they're so particular and they're so, you know, so they're over here. They're over here just trying to chase out like the smallest of puddles. Like
We don't want any water sitting in here at all.
So what that involves is literally meticulously just working at the trench bottom. Now you guys, when you watch our videos, you see Valente in the trench cleaning it up after Francisco works the excavator. You know, the same thing. You know, and this is how you get the water to run to the discharge end. You want to make sure that you can run water to the discharge end without big areas of ponding before you start putting in your fabric and your stone, all your plumbing.
That's what we're waiting for right now, for the rock to come in. Then I don't want to put the fabric in, and let's say something happens and the rock doesn't get here. We don't want to put anything in. So what he's doing is checking everything now to get it to go down.
Beautiful. That is beautiful.
You can see from here how proud he is. Working, the water level gets up to here. Once we opened that back there, it actually took relief most of that pressure. But the client still wants to have a channel drain for future reference because we don't have a roof here. So when it rains hard, it'll sit here.
No, I don't disagree. That's a shame that they've had to. I mean,
they can't enjoy nothing back there.
No, this is terrible. This is terrible.
And then we found a catch basin right there, NDS catch basin. Somebody tried to put a system at one point because it runs all around this side.
It goes nowhere, probably.
This catch basin's all on this side, going out to the side, NDS catch basin, holding water.
They're not working.
No, and the ground is soggy over there, real soggy. Like we had to put plywood over there to even walk over there.
So yeah, this colors the brick pavers. They can't enjoy their outdoor living space. Look at this.
So we're doing a double defense here. We're doing an open French drain in the back because all this water comes from back there too. As soon as they run their sprinklers, that water runs this way. So he's getting water, subsurface water from all his neighbors. When they all run the sprinklers, it runs towards this corner right here where we're at. All these houses are higher and all the elevations going down this way.
I think the customer gets a lot from you because, you know, instead of having a general contractor job and now get somebody to power wash the pavers and resand the pavers, they can add that on. You're here and you'll do that, and that's what I've noticed. You know, we stopped and we seen some of the jobs that you did and talked to some of the people that you had worked for, and I could see that you're one-stop shop for them.
Yeah.
You know,
there's no reason. I mean, you know, if we're going to charge you an amount of money for a job, we're going to make sure that we take care of everything. Put the landscape back together the way it was, sometimes even better. Like I don't want them to have to worry about anything after we're done.
And while you're here, it's not that much to tell the homeowner, hey, you know what, to power wash this and put some polymeric sand in the joints, it'd be X amount. You know, I'm here already. I'm going to do it cheaper than if you bring somebody in, and then you're not going to get a good job.
And
you know,
clients take advantage of that because we're already here. Like I tell them, it's not going to charge you that much, a crazy amount either, because we're already here. We're already working. Let's get everything done that you need done.
So for your French drains, I see you're really liking this 3.5-inch pipe.
Oh yes, it's much flexible. I mean, the inlets are actually closer.
You know,
The inlets are actually closer than your 4-inch. Your 4-inch.
You know, that's what I've been telling the guys. You know, they say, oh, I think the inlets are a little bit bigger on the 4-inch, but I'm like, oh, look at the distance between the perforations.
We love both of them, but that's been the go-to now. It's been easier, a little flexible, to be easier to move around.
What I tell the
It's
guys,
still heavy duty. This is still heavy duty.
we actually made this a little thicker than the 4-inch. We were screwing around and seeing just how thick we can make it because there is a limit, you know, and when you reach the limit, it loses performance in some category. But I try to tell the guys we have more inlet on the 3.5 per square inch of the pipe surface than our 4-inch. You know, and you've noticed that.
Oh, and it moves water. We've tested it like with no pump. You know, I've been shocked with no pump. I mean,
just gravity systems.
Moves,
Well, it's going to stay clean. The pipes are going to stay clean. You know, that's
why
what's
we
nice.
never run any debris through here. No debris runs through here.
Through the perforated.
This is just
Put,
water.
put a solid pipe on. You know, that's what we tell everybody. Put a solid pipe on. You know, and you don't cut corners. What I noticed in Florida, the guys all run to those 6-inch, those speedy basins that are $20, you know, and then the homeowner doesn't have, well, there's no sump. Look at that.
We have doubles.
Yeah, I love those.
We use everything. There's no reason to cut corners. I want to make sure that
I take care of the contractors. Right there, that's a double. It's capped off on the bottom. That's 2 1/4 gallons right here of sediment, man. That is just crazy.
So inside the French drain, we'll run these. We'll run these inside the French drain.
The 1 gallons.
And when we go at the end of the French drain, we run all the perforated pipes through here, and everything goes into the sump basin.
No, it's awesome. Yeah, you're doing the clean outs. You're doing big clean outs on your quad
I want to
pack.
be able to.
That's
so
cool.
If something ever happens to me or anything in the near future, I mean, our clients' kids, their grandkids could clean these systems out.
Yeah.
That's how easy we try to make it, that they can access. There's always access points everywhere. You can run a water hose, and you'll see the water running to the other side right away. Like the risers, ever since you made these risers over here, it's made it so much better. Because we go deep, so these risers, we had to put so many of these. And when you came out with the
big 5-inch, yeah, no, I'm glad.
It made it so much better because we don't need. I would have had like 30 of these here.
Yeah, a couple of my top guys in the country really wanted taller risers, so it was an easy decision. When I get a couple of my top guys asking for something, you know, we make the tool, we produce the part. You know, no, I appreciate all the feedback, all the help. I mean, it's just been. I got to be honest with you. It's just you can't even put a value on it because, you know, to be able to fly around the country and see all the water problems, it'd be, in theory, that sounds easy and it seems like it would be no problem to do. But when you're trying to run a business, you just can't be pulled away to do that. So when you guys are keeping me up to date, what's going on in your state, I mean, different soils, different soil conditions.
No, and that's why ever since that we started, I would go back to the projects and check them and just see where I could get better, what we could do, what we could change.
I tell everybody, you know, I don't think there's a week that goes by where I don't pick up on something new after 40 years. And so I tell the guys that are like you know, like, you're always going to stay engaged because that's what you need, to be honest with you. You're always striving to be better, and it's always there. There's always a way that we could be better, even if we got to make a new part to do that.
Yes, sir.
But I just wish I can get the guys off of those NDS catch basins and onto quality catch basins.
Oh, we try to talk to people too, and I try to educate people. Like, that's why when we go do estimates too, I try to educate the clients, show them the parts in person so they can see the differences of the NDS stuff and this stuff.
You know, it's January and you're booked out till May. That's a testament to, you know, the products you're using, the techniques that you're using, and the way you take care of the homeowner. And your stuff don't fail.
No.
You know, the reviews, you know, people put up a 5-star review. They don't take it down later because the system's working less and less. No. You know, your reviews stand. I mean, I can't believe I read your reviews. It's incredible. You know, you earned it. I mean, that's it.
I just try my best to make sure that we're giving clients quality work. You know, people are charging more nowadays and giving you crappier work, crappier material. It's like,
you know, there's guys that can't stay busy, and they're like, "Oh, I have to do this because I can't get enough drain work." Well, what's your closing rate? Yeah, well, like,
and we're busy. Sometimes clients ask me. Sometimes they're like, you know, call me on your slow season. I haven't seen a slow season in a while. You
know, and that's because you show up. You know, you have quality parts to show people. I see what you're doing. Your presentation is second to nobody. And the other guys, what are they going to do? Show a Home Depot $20 catch basin that has, I don't know why it's called a catch basin. It should be called like a clean out because there's no basin to that.
Well, guys even use it for the AC systems. I hate that because what that does is that it sits at the bottom and it
has that little bit.
So what we do is we started using, because you're not quite a 90s, they're versatile. You can use them in all types of directions. So when we're taking an AC drip line, we put a grate here and we put the AC drip line right over top. That way water keeps going, which you're not quite a 90, water just keeps going this way. And it's good. And then when it goes into the pipe, when it rains, when it goes into here, when it rains, that'll flush that out and clean anything that stays in there.
A blind guy can install this, and it's not going to hold water in the corner because we got a nice pitch on it. You know, really good pitch.
On the driveway on plywood.
Well, Sam, when he gets the channel drain in, he'll probably put a video up. You guys will probably see it.
Yeah.
He'll You get to see the finished product here. I'm getting to see it very early on the prep, because honestly, this is, like you said it earlier, the prep is everything.
Yes.
The prep is everything. People don't realize that.
If you rush through this, the rest of the job, I mean, we've went to, I've done some estimates already this year where we're going to have to repair after big companies out here.
I know.
And it's crazy.
I get the calls to my office too.
They come and they come in and they're done with a job in a day or two, which this takes us, yes, it's going to take a couple of days, but it's going to be done correctly, and we're never going to have to worry about the client calling us that it's not working.
You know, and some of these bigger jobs, when you have a guy that comes in and he's not bringing, 12-man crew, and they're just, like you said, blasting it out, and they're not really, spending the time on that trench bottom.
No.
You're coming in, and the way you're going about everything methodically, I mean, these bigger jobs, they're going to take a couple weeks sometimes, and people got to realize that.
Yeah, I try to explain to people, like I don't lie to people when I do an estimate. I'm one guy. I got a helper, and I do have a little excavating crew that helps me with the excavation and stuff like that. So I want to let you guys know, like, we're growing little by little. I just can't hire any goofball off the street.
No.
It's
your reputation.
When you guys call me to do a job, I don't want to hire somebody that's going to give me issues and is going to try to cut corners, like when I'm not even around, if I'm on the other side of the property. I want to make sure it's done right.
So I tell people, Sam, he's our guy in Orlando and the surrounding areas. Well, Sam, he's getting another estimate. Word gets around when he's in a neighborhood and people are so happy, just how particular he is. So next thing you know, neighbors are like, hey, I got the same problem. Just about everybody could have a drain system here in Florida, that's for sure. All I got to say is get on his list. He always has a list. There will be a wait. But all I can tell you is he's replacing failed drains in the Orlando area. That's just about every house he goes to has a failed system. And people paid their hard-earned money and hired somebody that really wasn't a five-star company like Sam. Now, he had dump trailers in here and he got the bulk of the dirt out. Right now, he's just meticulously cleaning up that trench. So he's got this little utility trailer that holds a little bit of dirt while he does that. He's organized. He's got an excavation crew that comes in first, and he just has them just knock out the bulk of the dig, and then just meticulously we keep our eye on Sam because we want to make his job easier. We want Sam to be able to help as many people as possible. In order for us to do that, we got to make his parts strong, quick, easy, simple to install. If he has parts that snap together fast, we're going to help get him to that next job quicker. He's going to be able to help more homeowners. Man, that is a no-nonsense sump pit right there. I hope your stone comes in so that you don't have to worry about this thing undermining. And
this one won't. Thankfully, I know I'm like...
your dirt.
Yeah, this one won't. When we're in sandy soil, I hate it because it falls right away.
Yep.
Hey,
how you doing?
To the homeowner, go ahead.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on, let me put
Do you have a name other than the French drain guy? Or?
Yeah. Robert Sherwood.
Robert. Okay, I'm a Robert as well.
Yeah, I mean, this trench bottom is just amazing. I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Isn't it? Yeah, his work. Like I got one quote, and then when I met the folks down there.
The house I'm going to send you to look at, I help them do the job themselves.
The consultation.
Yeah.
So I saw what the equipment they were working with over there, and I'm like, wait a minute, like this is highly advanced.
Yeah,
So,
this is not DIY friendly,
like there's the like the clean outs here on the downspouts, and so the folks quoting this like where it was such a rudimentary setup and very different. So I'm like, okay, I gotta talk to Sam, and then he's like, no, it's let me show you the difference. They're using real thin stuff; it breaks in a couple years. We're using the thick stuff, and he's got risers like to you know, to get
Yeah.
the angle right and all this.
He helps me. He helps me know what I need to make. You know, honestly, like he'll tell me. You know, like right now he's got me working on a top for our leaf filter for the 4x5 downspouts here in Florida. I mean, whatever he needs, you know, we're going to take care of, and we're going to make sure he has it. I mean, he's doing amazing work, man. He's the you know, he's an A-lister with us. You know, for sure.
He's the Picasso of French drains.
It's like artwork. People will always say in the comments, man, it's like artwork. You know, they love it. Everything's so organized. You know, all the plumbing.
We love making sure that it gets done right, everything. Like the prep work is, like I tell you, this is the detail that you cannot miss anything here.
Yeah, no, spot on. Spot on. This is it.
As you guys can see, it rained. You see the water went in. It went straight out. French drain, everything's dry out there. Yeah, we got a rainy day today. We still got water coming down through here. We're going to be painting this. All the shingle gravel fell from the flawlessly. We just had to empty out the sump basin. We're putting the sump pump on right now. This thing was full of water, and now we have 3 pop-ups here. One for the neighbor, one for our client, and one for the pump.